Welcome back to the Enigma Daily, everybody. I'm not going to ask if you missed me because I know you probably didn't. Anyways, 2026 has started with a bang. I've been super busy and I apologize. The Ancient Enigma Files has really taken up a lot of my time, but we seem to have things sorted out over there and kind of on autopilot. So we're back into doing our Enigma Daily episodes. We're probably going to be doing, for the time being, even though the channel is called Daily, 2 or 3 times a week. And then around the end of March, we'll be able to go 5 days a week again. However, we got a banger of a way to get started right now. And again, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, everything. Hope everything's great. Hope you're going to have a blessed 2026, but let's get into it right now. I'm talking about an article that came out January 18th, 2026. It's only about, 7 days old. Not 7 days old. What am I talking about? About 4 days old, right? 5 days old. And it's a banger. Financial institutions around the world are beginning to plan for a potential financial crisis when the United States of America announces the existence of extraterrestrial life and UAPs. The article right here is going to be in the description of the video, but we can pull it up right now on the screen. It's coming out of the UK. I'm going to read you a few highlights about this, and then we're going to break it down. The Bank of England must plan for a financial crisis triggered by aliens, says former policy expert, right? Go down here and read this. Helen McCall has been with this UK central bank. All central banks are part of the New World Order, but she's been a part of it for about the last 10 years. And she says that she's saying that the United States government appears to be partway through a multi-year process to declassify and disclose information on the existence of technology advanced non-human intelligence. I hate when they just add more and more words to something to make it seem like it's harmless. The not us's, right, is what I say on this channel. For UAPs, UFOs. She says, if the UAP proves to be of non-human origin, they already know that it will. They will have to acknowledge an existence of a power or intelligence greater than any government and with potentially unknown intentions, right? Triggering fear and everything else. So we're going to break this down. Again, it's a very entertaining article, I thought. It is going to be, the link will be in the description of the video. You can check it out, but I'm going to break it down for you, what it means. They already know that something is about to happen. Financial institutes via the U.S. Federal Reserve, which is a private bank, not a public bank, keeps major financial institutions around the planet in the loop about everything that the United States of America is about to do, from wars, sell-offs, or whatever. And the reason why they do it is not for the reasons why you think. They do it so they can look for ways to take advantage of crisis. George Bush's father was a banker, and he actually was lending money to Germany during World War II. That's how the Bushes made their fortune. He has a famous quote saying, when there's blood on the street, buy real estate. So these banks are not in here saying that, hey, we're running this simulation to prepare for, the potential that something might happen and how that might, affect people. They're running these simulations so they can say, hey, look, when this goes down, how can we take advantage of the uncertainty in the market? And they do that by shorting stocks, shorting investments, right? They're like, this stock is going to dip. We're going to bet against it and we'll make a ton of money. And the crazy thing about that is that if you do any research whatsoever, the stock market, especially the stock market, is a globally rigged system. It's globally rigged. It's like Las Vegas on steroids, right? Now, that's what this document is. And again, if you watch this channel, we talk about it a few times, especially on the Ancient Enigma Files. We talk about how they have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. It doesn't get a lot of mainstream push, but they have to put the article out there. You have to go out there and find it yourself and read it. But they are right now absolutely 100% preparing for when the United States of America announces that extraterrestrial life is real, UAPs, UFOs are real. how that will affect the market and how they'll be able to take advantage of it. So don't buy the hype that they're planning for, to protect your finances or whatever. Don't buy that ever. These people are not your friends. You don't hate them enough. I'm serious when I tell you that. What it also leads to is a potential black swan event. Black swan event, if you're not familiar with a black swan event is the absolute worst case scenario on a stock market or financial institution, where basically just imagine if the value of the dollar went to zero overnight. Worst case scenario. And a lot of people will say that this is actually a planned event to usher in digital currency. And if you read a lot of conspiracy theories, it also plays into that's why we are taking Greenland, Canada, Mexico, all the way down to Venezuela, right? That's why the United States of America is securing those assets, for lack of a better word. It all plays into this, right? And I know many people have reached out to me saying that the aliens are demons. No argument here. And some people say no, the aliens are, extraterrestrial life. If you read Hebrews 1, I think verse 2, it talks about how God or Jesus created the worlds. It's in plural form. I just read it last night. He created the worlds, not the world, the worlds. So I can get where other people say no, there's life teeming all over the universe. And so I can see where both parties are coming from. And I don't really buy a lot into when people start talking about this thing called the Galactic Federation. I'm just not seeing that. Either way, so to keep things simple and to keep us from, chopping up the words too hard, I prefer the term simply the not us's, right? United States of America. And again, we know not us's exist. Look at the Nephilim in the Bible. Look at the book of Enoch. Look at the book of Giants, where animal-human hybrid testing took place with the Nephilim and the fallen angels. That's all these cryptids that you see, that you hear people talk about. All that is leftover remnants from the floods. So we know that it could be any type of acknowledgement of that. We know that Tim Burchett and several other congressmen have went on record stating that there's 6 to 7 civilizations living inside of our oceans. We know this already, right? We've had 2-star generals talk about there's, I forget what they call it, not dimensional, but transmedium aircraft that can go from Mach 1 straight into the water without even, barely causing a splash. We know that these things exist. We know that reverse engineering has been taking place for a long time. We know that Skunk Works and Lockheed Martin, all that stuff, we know all that's real. So I don't want to debate it that, if they're demons or if they're angels or if they're extraterrestrials. Let's just call it the not us's. The United States of America in 2026 is going to disclose that we are not alone in this universe, much less alone on this planet. And these people who are despicable in ways that you cannot imagine are going to look for ways to exploit that to their own financial gain. And I'll give you a really good example of that as well. These people are multimillionaires, billionaires, and they will not give you a nickel, 5 cents. They won't do it. I've seen it. I've seen these people operate. They will fight for, I've seen people who have had accounts put into collections for $1.35. I'm not making this up. They will harass you for $1.35. Mailing them the check will cost more than getting the $1.35 or whatever it is, right? These people, I believe, are possessed with, the Bible talks about Enigma. Enigma is a greed demon. And I believe that these people that are multi-billionaires and all this other stuff, they are possessed with that demon because it is never, never, never enough. It's never enough for these guys, right? I read an article 2 days ago talking about the United States of America has 10 people who live in it. Elon Musk is one of them, whose net worth is like $2.73 trillion combined. 10 people that live in the United States of America alone have $2.73 trillion. I'm not a socialist. I'm not saying give that money away. I'm not saying that at all, right? I think that 200 people on the globe out of 8 billion have 98% of the wealth of the entire planet. Like 200 people, right? And that number is actually has biblical references as well to the 200 fallen angels, but I'm not making too much of that. But they will never miss the opportunity to take advantage of a crisis, even if they have to manufacture that crisis to take advantage of it, which we've seen they've done over the past. There is in 1935, one man could work and take care of a household of a wife and 5 children and send all five of those kids to college and then retire comfortably, right? 1935 standards. There's no reason that gas should be $3. There's no reason. There's no reason. Every time we have a war, it goes up and it never goes down. Your gas prices have not gone down. I had this conversation the other day. People talking about, oh, we took Venezuela. Your gas prices are going down. No, they're not. They are not. Gas should literally be right now about $1.25. I'm dead serious when I say that. It's the greed at the top. Guys who are getting checks for $600 million a month want to get $600.2 million a month. That's all they want. They want to stack it. They want to stack it. They want to stack it, right? And that's what this is. Now, fun fact on that, Trump is at the World Economic Forum right now today. And again, I go back and forth with my good buddies all the time talking about how I think that that's exactly where he wants to be. He's been shunned from that group of billionaires for his whole entire life. And that's where he wants to be. I'm not buying the things that he's saying or the things that he's doing. Nothing is being done in the United States of America right now. Nothing. There is no mass deportations. They won't even release the numbers, right? Say what you want to say about should we be deporting or should we not be deporting. I don't care. They won't even release the statistics on how many people are getting deported. There's not 10 million illegals in this country. There's 50. There's 50 million illegals. And here's a newsflash for you. They're not all from South America. They're not. They're from all over the globe. Places you ain't even heard of, they're here, right? And there's legitimately 50 million H-1B1 visas here. America is the only country where you have to compete with the world to get a job. It's true. And I don't want to hear that, oh, no one's trained. That's a lie. That's a total lie. America was built on people that were in this country, and supposedly this training that they're talking about, no. H-1B1s are attractive to businessmen because a guy that you would have to pay $100,000 to do his job, you can pay 2 H-1B1s $40,000 a piece and save $20,000 and do it, right? And get the same and double the production. That's all it really is. 100%, that's all it really is, right? And so, and again, people talk, he said that this week there's going to be arrest for stealing the 2020 election. I believe it when I see it. And he also said that he should have a deal in place to procure Greenland by this Saturday. Supposedly, we're about to give Greenland $600 billion, and every citizen in Greenland is about to get a check for $100,000. So they get the privilege of becoming a United States citizen. I don't know how that's going to go over. That's the rumor I heard. But that's what it is. And we'll see as it goes. But anyways, keep your eye on 2026. This is a good way to start our 2026 Enigma daily season. Keep your eye on it. Should be interesting. Should not be fairly boring. And again, if they lead out here in the next coming weeks, acknowledging the UFOs, UAPs, extraterrestrials are real, I'm going to have a chuckle. And then we can get into talk about, is the fake alien invasion right behind it? Or are they angels? Or are they demons? Or are they Project Bluebeam? Either way, guys, sorry I've been gone for a while. I'm back. We're going to start pumping out more content. Ancient Enigma Files has been taking a lot of my time. Do us a favor. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but I'm trying to hit some personal goals on this channel. And if you have any comments that you want to add to this conversation, hit them in that comments below. It helps the algorithm and spreads the word. All right, guys. So probably see you tomorrow. If not, I will see you on Friday. Have a good one.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.